Damn Stream Deck. Died on me. What are you going to do? Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Child of Mecha live stream. I'm your host, Tim, the one and only Child of Mecha. Welcome. It is Wednesday. We're working on the GBWC 2021 build tonight. We're going to jump back onto the bazooka, and Stream Deck is alive again. Yay. Let's get back into that. There we go. Whew. How are you guys? I'm doing pretty good. We're going to work on, like I said, this GBWC 2021 build, and jump back onto this bazooka. Got some ideas. Want to try them. So, without any further ado, rocking the army tonight. Represent. There you go. Hey, if you want one of these awesome Mecha Army hats, hit up www.childofmecha.com. Hit the store button up at the top. You'll find this hat, many more, shirts, prints of my work, all sorts of fun stuff in there. So go load up. If you are interested in any of the tools and materials that we're going to be working with here tonight, there's an Amazon link just below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side, if you're watching on Facebook. Now, I get a little bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It goes to help out me, goes to help out the stream, fuel our endeavors moving forward. Aside from that, if you are interested in kits, tools, paints, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, those are both in stock and shipping now. Visit our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine crew down there will definitely have what you need. Now, if you enjoy this stream, if you find this content meaningful and beneficial, if you learn something here, man, hit the like, subscribe, and follow on all the different social media channels. That way you can keep up with what we do outside of the stream. And if you know somebody or a group of somebodies that could benefit from watching this stream, share it with them. It's the nice thing to do. Anyway, we're going to jump on the bazooka right quick here, you guys. Let's get rid of this, okay? And let's see if I can touch the Stream Deck without it dying on us, okay? Here we go. Let's see. Oh, motherfucker always shocks me. God damn the thing. But it works. Hey. There we go. What a day. All right. So this is kind of what we were working on last time, namely this part right getting that all shaped and nice looking and everything like that. Now, what we're actually going to do is we're going to shift our attention to this kind of meaningless, detailless section up here, right? Just because that's really bare and just not a good look at all, right? Just not a good look. So we're going to pay some attention to that and maybe bring some detail into the life of this top of this bazooka here, yeah. So let's put that off to the side here just real quick and focus on these two pieces first and foremost. So this little piece of tube is actually the part that we sawed off right here. This is the part, and then we replaced it back with this guy, this builder's part here actually, which was a very, very good call. But we can use this now as a template for our tubes and stuff like that. Hendren says, Tim, wouldn't it make the bazooka too busy? It already has a lot of details now. No, because Hendren, if you look at it here, you've got a pretty busy front end, you got a busy back end, and you got like nothing going in the middle, right? So we're not gonna add like crazy stupid details like, you know, like this thing or you know, this detail here, anything like that. We're just gonna go fairly simple. But trust me, that's what you're here for. Have I ever let you guys down before? The answer is no. Just saying. All right, so with that being said, what we're going to do, we've got this little section of tube here that we're going to use as a template, right? Now, what I did before the show was take a measurement of this. That is 10.4 in outer diameter, right? If this is what is this, an 11.2, 11.1? Roughly 11.1, yeah. And the inner diameter of this tube is about 973, right? So a little thinner on the inside diameter than the outside diameter of this. So these don't telescope, which is not a problem because that's not what I'm looking to do. I'm just basically looking for strips that go kind of half round on the top, right? So all we got to do is make those strips fit across here. Since this is already curved and real close, this is the perfect candidate. So this is what we're going to use for our endeavors here. Now, what we've got is this little aluminum miter box, and what I'm going to do actually is turn this bad boy upside down, because if you look at it in profile here, it has this nice kind of L kind of thing here, and that tube fits perfectly right there, and that gives us a nice straight edge to mark and all that good stuff, right? And then also to cut, I should say, too. Yeah. Anywho, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get little strips off of this, right? Just little strips, and basically just strap them over the top here in certain positions, especially like right here, because it has that molded in detail right there. You can see that right there. If we put a raised bit on there, then I think that'll look much better in that position than if it's just flush. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna put a couple of those on, right? A couple of them. Now, what we need to do is to reinforce this so we can cut our strips, right? So that means to find the telescoping inner diameter tube for this. Now, what's the inner diameter of this? This is about 9.8, right? 9.8. So that's what essentially what we're looking for. Now here we've got 9.5, which will probably be our winner. Let's see. Yeah, see, that's perfect. That beautifully just telescopes into that, and that's nice. That's a nice kind of tight fit there. So that's what we're going to be using for this. Okay. So we're not going to use this just yet, right? Not yet. What we are going to use is this little guy right here, this little miniature tube cutter, right? Now, what we need to do is find our measurements here, okay? Just like that, and I think, let's measure this first. So that's about 4 millimeters. So if we go 6, that'll perfectly cover that. So transfer this back to here, and we'll go 6 millimeters right there. All right. So what we do is we strap this up. Oops, that's the wrong way. And basically you just clamp this down. There's a little cutting head right in there. It's a little cutting wheel actually. And you just line that up with the mark. Basically just clamp this down until it applies pressure, and you start twisting. right? And you just basically twist this around, and it starts to form a groove, almost like a scribe line in this. And you just keep applying pressure to this. And eventually, this tube will completely separate. And it looks like it has. Good. So, we take that out of there. Take that off. And there is our little section, right? Now, this is probably going to be a little... Oh, no, it does slide off. Sweet. All right. So there's our little section, our little tube section, right? So we've got a little kind of jaggedy end there. So we'll just do this sort of thing here. That looks good. We'll do the same thing to the other side. And there we go. Nice. Now let's check the width of this, and that is almost a perfect 6 millimeters, right? Easy peasy. Now, if we really wanted to get it down to 6 millimeter, we could just continue to sand this side a little bit, and that, let's see, get this zeroed out. Now it's just a hair under 6 millimeter, right? So that's good. All right, so that's step one. That's step one. What we need to do is to take into consideration this gap right here, right? So let's take a measurement on that. That is about 4.6, 4.7. Okay. So what we'll do is get this knocked up right into that L position, and we'll get a straight line going right across here, right? Just like that. Perfect straight line. So now what we can attempt to do here is wrap this around, and we'll go like 5 millimeter here because we're going to give ourselves a little bit more room. Actually, no, you know what? We're going to go 4 because we can always take away rather than put back, right? And this is a bit of an awkward... Right there. Okay. So now we've got our little mark. All right, so there's that. Now, let's see. That lines up pretty good with that detail there, right? So, we're gonna cut a little bit off of the line, just a hair off the line, just like that. Just like that. So the two pencil lines are still there, right? They're still there. So let's notch this up here and see how that spread out a little bit. So that's actually a good thing that we didn't cut that much off, right? So that's good. All right. So let's kind of jimmy this onto here. Ooh, look at that. That's damn near a perfect fit, my friends. First time. Whoa, we got the... That's off of there. Anyway, Jesus, everything's falling off of this thing right now. But, there's that. See? That, I think, looks much better than just a simple... just that simple molded in kind of scribey line, right? That deal right there. So this, again, we'll just stretch that right over here. Fits pretty much damn near perfect over that. And you can kind of see there how it just hugs that this kind of, you know, this shoulder thing, for lack of a better term, right? So here, let's take these Let's take these pieces off here. Just like that. And then there's that. Okay, so now that looks really, really good there. Now you can see kind of how it hugs that that shoulder deal there perfectly. That's exactly what we were looking for. So that looks really good. Really good. Okay. So, now, we could very well just leave that be. We could. We could totally leave this be. But we won't. But we won't. So, we'll take that off of there, and what we'll do is we'll get our little circle template here, right? And let's see. We'll try to figure out which one this best fits into here. That's got a little bit of give. This one right here looks to be perfect. So what we'll end up doing here is lining the gap, this section right here, lining that up on this cardinal point as nicely as we possibly can, right? So there's that. All right. So before we go doing anything else, let's get a little scuff on this thing. We're just basically scuffing this up with some sandpaper so that we can make some marks on this thing a little bit easier with our pencil. A rough surface will take the graphite a little bit better than a smoother surface. Won't rub off as easily. Okay. Alright, so let's get that off of there. Let's line this back up. Right about there. Looks good. Alright, so then we're going to mark our other cardinal points here. There. There. Right there. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to twist this around about a 45-degree angle. And we're going to try to get our lower cardinal point down here, right between our other two marked points. And this, we're just kind of eyeballing here. So now, what I'm going to do is going to mark all four of those cardinal points again. Right there, there, right up top here. Hopefully that's making a mark. And this one over here. Just like that. So then you have perfectly spaced marks all the way around this thing, right? So that's looking pretty good. I like that. Okay, excellent. So we'll put our little circle deal away here. Let's get this strapped back onto our test piece here. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our little deal here, our little miter box, and what we're going to end up doing is making straight marks all the way across this thing at those cardinal points. Okay, we're just spinning this thing around and making our lines, and I'll show you why in a second here. Nope, that's too low. There we are. Okay, so that was the last one, actually. Excellent. All right, so now you can kind of see those lines on those cardinal points all the way around here, pretty much evenly spaced, or as best as we can get them. So that's exactly what we want. Exactly what we want. Now, what we're going to end up doing here is we're going to put this back on to this piece. Boom, just like that. Get that into place. Lined up on both sides. That's looking good. Excellent. All right. Actually, we could probably move this forward just a little bit. Just to about there. Just so this back edge hits that corner. Yeah. I like that. That looks great. Okay. So, next thing that we're going to do, let's glue this into place. Because it's going to be easier, much easier to work with at that point. And let's see if we can't get this guy out of here. There we go. All right, so we just got basically our stripped down tube here, right? So that looks good. All right, so let's make our mark around here so we know where to apply the glue and we know where to locate this tube, right? Okay, so now there's our lines. That's looking pretty good. And now we can apply glue all the way around, right? Now what we're going to do is we're not going to glue right up to the lines. What we are going to do is apply glue on the center point, and once we put this kind of sleeve back onto here, that's going to spread out, and that's going to give us our what we want. And it'll, you know, the super glue will squeeze out and just basically be perfect at that point. Fill in all the gaps and, you know, all that stuff. So, moment of truth. Here we go. Get up on there. Get up on there. One shot. One shot. There we go. Shit. Not perfect, but here we are. Gonna break that seal a little bit. Perfect. That's lined up all the way around. It's not exactly where I wanted it to be, but it's good enough. You know what they say. Doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good enough. As long as this thing is glued on here, that really is all that matters. Right? Mom's spaghetti? Hell yeah. One shot, one opportunity. Don't look down now. Jesus. Oh my. Anyway, let's get caught up with the chat while this sets up, yeah? Because you guys are going a mile a minute again here tonight. God damn, there's a ton of comments. What the hell? Do you guys even have lives? Jeez. Let's see. Scuffles is over there on Twitch. He says, add a hobby saw to the end of that bazooka, Tim. Oh, and good evening, by the way. Scuffles? I swear, dude. Let's see. Hendren says, ooh, Z, I like the sound of that. What did Z say? He says, sup, H, I'm about to throw down paint on an F-18. Wow. Nice. Bill is over there on YouTube. He says, I grew up watching Robotech, so it was natural to like Macross, but until I saw those Gundam action figures, my anime was mostly action-based, like Akira and Fist of the North Star. Fair. Brian, Mr. Bro Builder's over there on YouTube. He says, sup, modeling fanatics, buenos nachos. Nachos does sound good. What's going on, Brian? Andrew is over there as well. He says, I have an SR-71 I could work on along with a 69 Charger and a 57 Chevy Bel Air. Nice. Let's see. Colin Barr, he wants nachos as well. Nice. Andrew says, scribe some pretty detail into it. Oh, wait. Colin Barr says, yeah, no, of course not. Meaning, have I ever let you down? Yeah. Asshole. Pabs is over there on YouTube. He says hello. What's up, Pabs? Giant Mega Robot is over there as well. What's going on, big man? Yo, if you're not following Giant Mega Robot on Instagram, you're doing yourself a big disfavor. Is that a word? I don't know. But he is building this perfect grade Zaku that he is weathering up real nice. And it's coming out beautifully. So go follow Giant Mega Robot on Instagram. Highly suggest it. Ooh, it's very dry in here tonight again. I don't like that, but we'll deal with it. Bill says, a positive detail to expand on the conversation from the day stream, right? This, yes. Bill, that's actually a really good point. So, there's two types of details, positive and negative. By adding something to your work, you're adding a positive detail. Addition, positive. By scribing or cutting or things like that, that is a negative detail. You are subtracting, taking away, right? So that is a negative detail. So positive and negative. And you need to have a good balance on both, or it just, in my opinion, just doesn't work as well. Now, you can get away with a lot of negative detail, like scribe lines, notches, things of that nature. And you can trust me, you can pretty much get away with all negative details like that. But, there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a little something, just a little sprinkle of positive detail in there, in my opinion. So, yeah. Anywho. Bill says to Brian, I have no idea when my dad got me building planes. Honestly, I wasn't that into it, but was fine with it as it was something we could do together. Aw, that's very nice. That is very nice sentiment. Handren says they were very cool. It is a shame they didn't last in service. Oh, the Concords and stuff. Yeah. Z says, I hate mold lines on armament. It's so fine, but still an issue. Well, yeah. Let's see. Ultraman Dyna, he's over there on YouTube. He says, dang, Tim, this is genius. I've tried cutting tubing like that using a cutter similar to that one, and it always bends on me. Not anymore since I've seen this. There you go, right? And that's the thing. Using the tube cutter, this little guy, and this is just a little simple just a miniature one from Home Depot. It's their HDX line, which I don't even know if it's around anymore. But this was super cheap. I also have this bigger one here, this brass craft, but you can see the size difference. This one's much bigger than this one. This one doesn't even have like an internal roller here on the bottom jaw, where this one actually has 2 rollers there, and then there's the cutting wheel right here, right? So the trick to those is if you're cutting tubing like this, is to insert or telescope in a support tube to make sure that it doesn't crush under the pressure. That's the key. That's the big key. Excuse me. So Bill says, I will take the uncomfortable seat over a plane crash. Oof. Wouldn't we all? Just saying. Inkao Chihung is over there on YouTube, and they say, ha, right after work, I'm building too. Hi, Tim. Don't work too hard, OG. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Gumper Ronan says, not me. I want to be comfy when I die. Fucking dark, man. Morbid. Andrew says, the only opinion I have flying is that the next time I'm splurging on business class, not gonna lie, it is nice. I've only sat in, like, you know, first and business class just like a handful of times. It's pretty nice. Let's see. Bill says, LOL, I like being uncomfortable for a bit and living rather than super comfortable for a few minutes than dying. You guys are just, like, morbid in the chat tonight. What's up with that? That's very dark. Anyway, Hanron says, but would you get there quicker, though? All I can remember is, like, Mr. Chow from The Hangover 2. But did you die? Jesus. SuperSet5 over there on Twitch, he says, I've turned my room upside down twice today, and I still can't find my guide tape or pencil. I guess I have a reason to spend some money. There you go. Let's see. Powering through the 777 Concord discussion here. There's Manny. Manny's with us over on YouTube. He says, good evening, Mecha Army. What's going on, Manny? You baby-faced some bitch. Goalie Zero, Mr. Awesome Carl. With an amazing tip, by the way. And let me go camera 1 on this here just real quick. So we were talking about airbrushes today in the early show, and Carl offered up a tip which I thought was just absolutely massive. So on many airbrushes, we have to use airbrush like lubrication, you know, or lube. And a lot of the companies have their different, you know, lubrications for the internal parts and stuff like that. And what I find is that it starts to gunk up as it, you know, after a while. It dries and stuff, right? And it just becomes just a mess. His suggestion, which evidently he said he got from an Iwata rep, was instead of using the airbrush lube, use chapstick. And the more I think about it, the more genius this gets. Because chapstick is mostly made of wax, right? So it doesn't dry out nearly as much as the liquid, you know, the lubrication for airbrushes and stuff. So that, I think, honestly, is just genius. Genius. So again, Carl, A, thank you. Mr. Awesome Carl, by the way. Yeah. It was just a genius idea, right? Just a genius idea, because we were taking a look at one of my old airbrushes, the Badger Crescendo 175, and, you know, there was kind of some grindy metal on metal feel when you pull back the trigger, and I'm just like, this needs a little something. And then he offered the chapstick thing, and I'm just like, and a lot of people in the chat were just like, yo, that's genius. So thought I'd offer it up here again for the night crew as well. So let's get back to camera 2 then. There we go. All right. Anyway, catching back up. But Carl's over there. He says those tiny tube cutters can be found at Home Depot, I believe, usually in the plumbing section. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. That's where I got mine. Yeah. Geez, you still guys are talking planes and shit. Like, what the hell? This is Gundam, you guys. Let's go. Talk about Gundams and shit. Ay, ay, ay. Zero Kai, Mr. Nathan, he's over there. He says, what's up, Tim? What's going on, dude? AC 130s and all this crap. Just, wow. Alright, here we go. Andrew says, shield generators. A house that goes into an underground shelter like the palace from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz. Okay. Pab says to Manny, they call my name, brother. LOL. What are you looking for? What? Anyway. Resin? I don't know. Chris Degger says, it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be good enough, is what my wife's motto. LOL. That's why she is my annoying ass. Wow. Andrew says, nope, no life here, Tim. True. Chris Decker says, perfect grade Zaku, you said the magic word. I'm going to follow him right away. Dude, it's so worth it. His work on perfect grade Zaku, his work on Star Wars kits and all that stuff. So, yeah, really, really, really good. Well worth the follow. Inkao Chi Hung over there on YouTube, they say, if you can only pick one, would you prefer negative details over positive? Yeah, probably. You can probably get a little bit more out of it. And you can get away with just using negative details, but for balance, I like to add just a sprinkling of positive details in there as well. So, yeah. Chris Decker says, I don't have an Instagram, but it looks like Giant Mega Robot has a website. Woo woo. There you go. Gunpla Miami, Mr. Chris is over there. He says, success. I jerry rigged my compressor. Yeah, Chris's compressor died earlier today. That sucks. So, let's see. Sorvon says, I know where your stuff is, Super Sep. Tim got revenge. What? I must have missed something. I don't get it. Right over my head. Terry T is over there on YouTube. He says, you know, it's a hump day when we get excited about chapstick. I actually tried it and it works. Carl, see? That's what we talking about. That's what we talking about. Anyway, Super Set 5 over there on Twitch. He says, he already did, but I wouldn't put it past him. I think I missed something on Twitch. Let me see. Let me get caught up there. Yeah, it does nothing else registers in the chat, so I don't know. I must have missed something. Anyway, Michael's stuff is on the way. All of it. Let's see. Hey, there she is, Miss Tex Marquise. Someone say spaghetti? Yeah. We had one shot at gluing this this outer tube to this piece. So, yeah. Evidently, I'm Eminem now. Rabbit. Let's see. Ungawa is over there. The Ungawa is over there on YouTube. He says to Pabs, do you have a recommended place to purchase an SD Gundam resin kit? Something for the first timer with a low part count. Yeah, most SDs are going to have low part counts. So, yeah. Oh, Sorvon says, Tim, you forgot Superset is always stealing your tools. Now you got revenge by stealing his. Oh, gotcha. Yes. Sorry, Sorvon, just over my head a little bit there. Not a big deal, but thank you, yeah. So, anyway, Bill says, I would say positive. There's only so much you can remove. Well, I mean, negative details have, panel lines, notches, things of that nature fall into negative style details. I think you can get more bang for your buck with negative style details like panel lines and notches and things like that. So, and you can sculpt in to plastic as well. So, it's a give and take, but it's a fine balance. That's the thing. It's a fine balance. Excuse me. Bill says I can get more as my local hobby town has them in stock. A bottle of X16. Gotcha. Okay. Pab says to Ngawa, GKM is a good spot. Stickler Studios has some nice simple ones you can start with. What is that? Dream Studio K, I think, also sells SD resin kits and stuff. Musigan? I don't know. Musigan? Shit, I don't know. Anyway. Let's see. Tech says, kind of looks like the empty shell of a mechanical lead eraser. Oh, this? Yeah, well, this is just the bazooka kind of broken down, so it's nothing right now. Handren says, SD's for life, yo. God, I don't know about that. Bill says, oh, Tex, I should have an awesome shirt this Friday. Oof. She says, I eat more on Mechanism than I do in real life. Yeah, I'm not gonna touch that one. Pab says, Tim, can you send me a high-res logo? High-res of logo, please. Of your logo. Yeah? What do you want it for? And Pabs, hit me up on instant on the messenger, because I'm never gonna remember, because I got another almost over hour here, and I'm never gonna remember. So. Ungawa says, Pabs, GKM is the Shop 2000 place. Yes. Do you know of any particular kit that is pretty good? I'm new and watching your YouTube VODs to get a grasp on it. There you go. Tex Marquise, yeah, Dream Studio K, my girl. There you go. Let's see. Bill says, yep, except for one word on it I know you will like. Ooh. You know, Bill, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're playing with fire. You're playing with fire, bud. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Just anyway. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jesus Christ. All right, so let's put this tube away here, because we don't need, well, you know what, let's keep that out just to be on the safe side. We're gonna put this over on this side. All right, so first things first, let's get rid of the super glue. Let's go ahead, get our 0.20 in here. Let's do a little cleanup around this tube. Excellent. There's no squeeze out around the perimeter, the long sides and stuff, but there is squeeze out at the bottom here, which is exactly what I wanted. Because that fills that gap between the part and the this little bumpy shoulder thingy. I don't even know what the hell to call it, honestly. I really don't care what to call it. But there's a little bit right here that we're going to address. Peel this back a little bit. All right. Good there. Let's inspect all the other corners. Nope, nothing there. All right, so we can go ahead and lay in an outline scribe here. Which will make this little tube addition, make that look separate from the rest of the piece. All right. Okay. All right. Now to do the top side of this thing. so this is looking pretty good. Excellent. All right, so this thing is now perimeter scribed, looking nice, separated from, making it look separate from the original tube here. That's all looking really nice. Now we're going to take advantage of our marked in cardinal points here, and we're just going to do some simple notching around the excuse me, around the edge of this thing. Just little notches, nothing crazy, just little, right? Oh, I gotta catch up with this conversation with Bill and Tex. This is going well, I think. Let's see. Where'd it go? Yeah, there it is. So Bill says, except for one word on it, I know you will like. And her response was ... That's when you know you fucked up. Hendron's like, oh shit, right? Zerokai says, any modeler's done a custom build on a TR1 Advanced Hazel? Probably. I don't know any off the top of my head though. So yeah. Excuse me. 1 second. It's very dry. Like I said, it's very dry in here. Anyway. Bill says, I have seen some out there, Zero, but don't know who. Look up Advanced Hazel on IG and see what comes up. There you go. Tech says, I can't believe you just made me add premeditated murder to my resume, Bill. Yeah, there's that. Hendron says, once USP Bandai gets one, I will get it. Nice. Ngawa says, to Krabs, thanks for making the content. It's tough to find comprehensive resin material. I'll look out for those kits specifically. Thank you. There you go. Greg Blair 88, he's over there on YouTube as well. He says, what's up, y'all? What's going on, dude? RF Aurora says, Chisel ASMR. Ugh, no thank you. Damn it. And our boy Wilson Alanea, he's over there on the Mecha Army Facebook group. He says, hey, no oil while scribing? Not today, dude. Not today. Or any day for that matter. Bill says, don't worry, Tex, I sent you a preview just now. And she says, blocked, unfriended, unsubscribed. Nice. Hey, Gunpla Builders hosting with one viewer. What's going on, ladies and gents over there? Finally. Anyway, nuke from orbit. Wow, she's serious about that, isn't she? Greg Blair says the scraping of the chisel is like the ocean sounds you would put on to relax. Wow. I don't know about all that, but hey, whatever floats your boat. Pab says to Tex, speaking of SDs, I'm ordering on Friday. Let me know, yo. If you have to ask, you don't know me. Hey. Pab says, just covering my ass. Yeah, there you go. Bill says, I ordered a bunch of shirts about my youth. Airwolf, Last Dragon, Def Leopard, Robotech, UO. Hendron says, he uses chapstick to scribe, not oil. Fucking hell. Good one, Hendron. I like that. That's pretty good. I'm not going to lie. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Anyway. All right. Back to this, yeah? Back to this. So, what we can do now to get nice straight lines, we can actually, yes, we can use a scribing jig. Hey. Now, the cool thing about this is use kind of a larger one like this, right? Or if you have it, you could always use a section of, half-cut tube that is bigger than the piece. And if you have it cut on a straight line, you could use that. But for our purposes, I'm just going to go ahead and use one of the scribing jigs that we have here. Now, a thinner one is probably going to be better, but I may not have something like that, right? That's not too bad. I don't want it to weeble wobble on me, because if it weeble wobbles, it all falls down. Anyway. Alright, so right about there, and see that basically just kind of cradles right there along that edge, right in there, kind of in that L shape, similar to what we did on the what you call it, the miter box, right? It just kind of nestles right there in that L shape, just kind of cradles it. Issue is, main thing is to keep this centered and to apply pressure right along the strip of tube, right? So let's get zoomed in on this. Yeah, so you want to make sure you're applying pressure right along the middle section of that tube so it stays straight on there. Now, what we're going to do is get our 0.3 millimeter chisel, and we're just going to go right along here. It needs to come up just a bit right along here, and just start marking in our little edge notches. And you just want to start to set in the groove, and that's it. We can come back and reinforce these in a few minutes. Okay, just move right down the line here, line to line, mark to mark. Ooh, but look. Alright, so the mold line is right along here. Ooh. You can kind of see the mold line right there, and that matches up perfectly with that top line. So alignment was picture perfect. That's a great thing. That is a great thing. Okay. Now let's start going from this direction here. Okay. One more set of lines one more set of lines after this. As long as I don't screw this one up. 'Cause the jig slipped on me a little bit, but not a big deal. Not a big deal. Okay, So there we go, all the way around there. We've got some nice little subtractive details, little notches and things like that. So now we can go back, reinforce these, and we'll be good to go. We'll just do one side at a time. Let's make sure the depth on all these are fairly similar. There, perfect. Okay, I think this is going to be pretty nice little detail here, because this little this little tube section that we glued on here, you know, we can paint this a completely separate color, like a nice kind of gray, like middle gray color, something to accent the lightness of this tube, because, you know, obviously we're going to go, you know, this is an RX, we're going to go traditional RX colors even on the weapons, right? So we're going to keep the light color scheme on the bazooka tube here, and you know, we'll paint the little accent pieces, you know, secondary, third, tertiary colors, stuff like that. So I think that's going to look really, really nice. And then once it catches like panel lining fluid and all that, I think it's going to even look way better. Yeah. Yeah. See, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. All right, let me get the other side scribed here, and then we'll super zoom in so you can kind of see this part in more detail here, right? Okay. So far, so good. Just a couple more notches here real quick, and then we'll do a little cleanup. Okay. Let's see. Oh yeah. See, that looks really good. That looks really good. I'm really happy with that. All right. Chisel discipline, obviously. Now, we need to do just a little bit of cleanup on the super glue squeeze out here at the edges. So we're going to take care of that just real quick before we jump into the next thing, because I do have one other idea just for a very, very simple little addition for this, which I think will tie this all together magically. Yes, magically. Hey, look at this! Look at this guy. No Zaku boy. What's up, stranger? Mr. James. He says, "G'day, mates. How are we all?" Dude, how the hell are you, James? Last time I saw you, I was 3 sheets to the wind, and I hardly remember our conversation. So my apologies. All right, perfect. Okay. Now, excuse me. One thing that we're gonna do, one quick little detail thingy. Let's address this right up here. Right there, right across there. That's the middle, that's the top middle there, right? Now, what we're going to do is make a mark. Let's find true center. This is 6 millimeters, so we need to be at 3. All right, so we'll mark this 1, 2, 3, right about there. Okay. Excellent. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna drill a 1 millimeter hole to start off with. And ooh, we already have a drill bit in there. We don't want that. Yeah, we don't want that. Let's get that put back there. All right, so 1 millimeter, and here we go. Here's our 0 clearance. We'll pop that guy right in there. Make sure we are drilling fairly straight into this plastic here. And we're just going to drill all the way through. Perfect. Okay, good deal. So we'll put this little guy away. Like that. And now, we will dig into our bin o' metal parts here. And let's find something fun and unique. Here are these little kind of O bolts there. We've just got flat ones there. Ooh, here's some flange bolts. Yeah, see, I like that. I like that idea. Let's use some flange bolt, or a flange bolt here. So we'll get that there. These are 2.5 millimeters in diameter. So if we check our cheat sheet here, we see that 39 is 2.527. That is 39, number 39. Okie dokie. 39. 39 is what we need. 39, which is this guy right here. All right. So, let's see if this one will fit in here. Yes, it does. Just barely. Let's get that pulled out of there. First thing I want to do is to kind of chamfer the inside edges here just a bit so that this drill bit will find center easier. There we go. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. I like this. I like this idea. I like it a lot. All right. Yeah. That's a little too much there. Let's go ahead and get the big one. Big collet here. Put that over there. And let's pray that this holds it properly. No, and it doesn't. Son of a bitch. It's just that weird intersection of diameters between these two collets. This one is a little, it's a little too tight. The other one, way too loose. So we'll just jam that in there as much as we possibly can and really crank that sucker down. All right, so now we got to be careful. We got to find that center. And yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay, so we'll get one of our little flange bolts here. Clean off the jaws of our tweezers because we got super glue built up in there. Just like that. Okay. Let's get one of these little guys out here. That looks like a winner. And there's what that flange bolt looks like. See, it flanges down at the bottom, right? So let's put this guy in here. Yeah. Just like that. Just as a simple little thing up there. Nothing crazy. Right? That's not bad. I dig it. Now, let's put that back for a second. And let me see here. Let's put these on before we have a disaster. Because these are aluminum. And you can't pick those up with magnets or anything, or else that'd be way too easy, right? All right, so here's our little O bolts. Let's take a look at these. See what that looks like in there. These are also 2.5. And these are just basically just little kind of straight little things, and it basically looks like a donut almost. Let's see what this one looks like. Ooh, wait a minute. Ooh, I like that better. Yeah, I like that way better. We'll use that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Excellent. Let's get this sanded up and clean, get super zoomed in. I'll put that back when we do, and then you can kind of see what we've got here. But let's get this graphite sanded off here. This is under super glue up here. All right. There we go. Let's probably do the same thing to this other side here. Okay. All right, so let's get that cleaned up here. Perfect. All right, let's get one of these reinstalled here. And then we will show you guys what this all looks like here. Okay. Very nice. Very, very nice. All right, let's put the cap back on this thing. Metal detail discipline? Yeah. Yeah. All right, put those away. And let's see here. Let's get the super zoom going. Boop. There we go. Get that centered right shot. 5x. There we are. Heyo. So, there we go. All the way around. Looking really nice. You can see those notches in there. There's that little metal detail. Man, that looks nice. All the way around. And then if you look at it in profile, oh yeah, see that just sticks up just a hair, just a little proud of that top, and I think that's really gonna pop once this thing is kind of all together, right? So real quick, let's go ahead and do some assembly here, yeah. Forgot to put this piece on here. Now this goes in here. There we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. Put that on there. This slides in here like that. Let's get out a super zoom so you guys aren't catching a gnarly headache here. And ooh, I almost forgot the little scopy thing. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. Hell yeah. Right about there. Yeah. Excellent. That looks great. That little kind of strap almost there. Turn that up. Look at that. That's dead ass center. Looking really good. Close that up a little bit. Set this thing off to the side there. Yeah. I mean, we're getting close on this thing, you guys. We're getting really, really close on this thing. Nice. Very nice. All right. We'll leave that right there in the window as we get caught up with the chat. Before we do that, though, let's get... Ooh. Very dry. Very dry. All right. So, let's get caught up with the chat, yeah? Here we go. Lots of questions. I see lots of questions from you guys, so we're gonna hit all these. So, just hang tight, you guys. Hang tight. Let's see. Hey, Michael Crumrine is over there on YouTube. He says, "Que paso, mi amigos?" What's going on, Mike? Good to see you, buddy. William Wilms is also over there on YouTube. He says, "Hey, Mech Army." What's up, Will? Bill says, "I would use the bottom of the miter box for this." Oh, for the scribing and everything. It's just become, it gets cumbersome at that point. So, you know, one of these smaller, more manageable scribing jigs is just, it's easier to hold and it's easier to scribe rather than this unwieldy freaking miter box, you know? So, let's see. Henry says, "Yo, Chris Pabs, what's your next project after the SD?" Let's see. Henry says, "I do have a 2-year-old SD project that needs attention after my Wing Zero." There you go. Michael Crumrine says, "Go with G3 color scheme. It's better." Trust me, Mike, I like it better too. But we're going traditional. with this one. So we are going to go, you know, full on white, blue, red, yellow, the 4, you know, cardinal colors, if you will, of the RX. Because this is going to be my version of the RX 78-2. So yeah, but we'll definitely have a nice, you know, modulation on those colors, because, you know, I don't like the real bright blue, real bright red, all of that. It probably won't even be white for the most part. It'll probably be either a I'm thinking like a very light gray, or maybe even like almost like a very, like a warm white, almost a cream color, right? Because I kind of like the idea of that. If you've ever seen the 1 Year War version, RX Master Grade, that armor was actually more of a cream kind of color. Sort of actually like this. This is actually not white, right? Because you can see, well, maybe not, but I can see there's definitely a hue difference. This is pure white, where this is a warmer tone. This is like a cream or like a sail color, something like that. So that kind of speaks to me as well. And then maybe darken up the blue and the red just a bit, maybe warm up the white, or the yellow, you know, more of a golden color. So I kind of like the idea of all that. And then, you know, for Sharzaku, I'm going kind of a deep dark red. I'm not doing the salmon color. That just, bleh. You know, we're kind of going darker Sazabi red on that, and I think the two clashing together will just fucking look amazing, I think. So fingers crossed, right? Fingers crossed. He says, or a prototype black, gray, and red scheme. Yeah, nah, we just straight up with the traditional. Yeah. Bill says, just a friendly little reminder, have fun with your build experience, and you have succeeded. Your skill set will improve with time and experience. Just keep having fun and you will be good. Goddamn right, Bill. Cheers, sir. Hendren says, that's a nice idea, Michael. G3 versus Johnny Ridden Zaku, which Tim Zaku is more fitting. Bill says he's aiming for Amuro over Char. Yes. Although, you know, a G3 versus Johnny Ridden would be freaking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Just saying. But yeah, this is going traditional, because this was meant for this year, which was you know, this is the 40th anniversary of Gunpla, the models, where last year was the 40th anniversary of Gundam, the IP, intellectual property, and or the franchise. So, you know, I was hoping to go traditional with this entry, and kind of play off of that kind of theme. Maybe get a little brownie points. But then Rona. Bitch. Damn you, Rona. Hendren says G3 was piloted by Amuro in the manga. There you go. Pab says, oh, hi. LOL, sorry. Also working on stuff to Hendren. Working on 100 Woundwort resin conversion, as well as the SD Neo Zeong that needs finishing, right? Fun till we're done. Hendren says, original Tamino wanted the G3 for the show. Andrew says, anyone know if the Army Painter acrylic paints can be mixed with Mr. Leveling Thinner and used? I do not. Maybe someone else does, but I do not know. Let's see. Pab says the Stickler Studio Jagan and a secret project. Ooh. That Stickler Studio Jagan, the little SD, that does look really nice. I'm not going to lie. Julius Dembski, Sarge is over there. What's going on, Sarge? He's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, after using isopropyl alcohol to clean/strip parts, do you filter the alcohol to remove any debris or sediment that is left in the fluid? Yes, you absolutely can. Run it through like a coffee filter, and you should be good to go. So a coffee filter or two. I usually use 2 coffee filters just to be on the safe side. But yeah, you just, strain it through that. Yeah, you can totally reuse that and you're good to go. Absolutely. Absolutely. Great question, Sarge. Handred says, if it wasn't for Sunrise and Bandai selling colorful toys, the G3 would have been the gray devil in the show. That actually would have been nice, I'm not going to lie. Bill says to Andrew, you should be able to do it. The question of quality of the results is the thing in doubt. I would say get some and give it a try. Yeah, I mean, there's only one way to find out, right? Andrew says, I have some, and I'll give it a try when I get my compressor found and fixed. There you go. Bill says to Julius, I have never tried to reuse IPA for hobby use. Wish I could give you advice. No, yeah. I've done it many, many times. It works perfectly fine. Yeah, works perfectly fine. Yeah, you can reuse it until the cows come home. And actually, I don't notice any drop in effectiveness either. But Bill does have a very good point. Alcohol evaporates quickly. He would be concerned about alcohol content after using to strip paint, but without personal experience, I can't give you any advice. Sorry. But yeah, it does evaporate quickly, so you're definitely going to lose material, obviously through the soaking in of the material, the alcohol that soaks into the coffee filters. You're going to lose some there. You're going to lose a bunch to evaporation because it does evaporate very quickly. So don't leave it uncapped or unbottled for very long. But yeah, once you strain it, you'll be perfectly fine, Sarge. Yes, you absolutely 100% can reuse that. Yeah. Let's see. Andrew's got a question.
We have a question.
Andrew says, where do you get all those goodies from? Oh, the little metal parts? Well, a lot of places, Andrew. A lot of places, bud. Let's pull out the bin again. And, so, let's see here. We've got some metal parts here from our boy June, Mr. Simp Pro Models. These were actually defects that he sent me, which was a very nice gesture. Still perfectly usable, but he couldn't sell these as is, because like this one, it's missing one of the little ones here, right? That would get returned all day, every day. And same thing with this one, it's missing one. And that's what most of these are. They're either missing one, or this one's got a little rust on there, from the photo etching process. You got a couple of the inserts missing down on here, little things. So June was actually very, very nice enough to send me these. Then you've got Then you've got the these model upgrade parts from AW Steel Spirit down here. And these are absolutely wonderful, and I absolutely love these things. These are great. You can get these off of USA Gundam Store as well. Oh, and you can get the Simp stuff from USA Gundam Store too. Or you can get these from Taobao, but good luck getting them from there right now. So I've got a lot of those in here. Let's see. We've got some CJ Hobby in here. That's also from Taobao. You can probably get a bunch of that from eBay as well. Let's see. This is Adler's Nest. These are teeny, teeny, tiny little bolt heads. Got these from, I want to say, Hobby Search. And let's see, some more CJ Hobby. And then a bunch of different high-Q parts. These are all, actually, no, this one is from Volks I got when I was in Japan. But most of the high-Q stuff that I get is from Hobby Search. Like these are all from Hobby Search and everything like that there. You got some more CJ Hobby. You've got little generic. These are just basically, barrels for, for weapons and stuff like that. Various Chinese thrusters that you get from Taobao. Nice little metal spikes. Different thruster bells and stuff, all sorts of cool stuff. But most of these in these little containers, most of these are high-Q that I got off of Hobby Search, right? Now, you can get stuff off of, say, like McMaster Car, these great little, you know, stainless steel rods here. These are 1 millimeter. These are 2 millimeter. These are great for hydraulic replacements, because that's basically what the rods are, you know, the diameter for hydraulics in most master grade kits. They're usually 2 millimeters in diameter. So, got a bunch of those there. And then, let's see. These right here are little, let's see if this will focus. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. These are miniature hex head bolts, right? You can get these from McMaster Car as well. Yeah, and just, you know, that's basically it. Most of the stuff, like I said, either Taobao, USA Gundam Store, or Hobby Search. That's primarily where I got most of those parts from. So, yeah, you just got to shop around. Just got to shop around, Andrew. Let's see. Let's see. Robert Cottrell, he's over there on the Mech Army Facebook group. What's up, Robert? He says, just bought an air compressor, and I'm looking to buy one of the ones... Oh, one of the one I have is too old. Okay, I got you. I mean, at work. Oh, he's at work. Okay, cool. Yeah, nice. Dude, yeah, get yourself a new compressor, man. There's nothing wrong with that, right? Especially if you need a new one. Shit. But let's see. Bill says to Andrew, you can get some on Amazon, Ace Hardware, Lowe's, McMaster Car, Taobao, jewelry supply stores, watch parts, eyeglass repair kits, etc. Yeah, pretty much. Other than Hobby Search, I mean, he pretty much ran the gambit there in terms of metal parts. So, yeah, and a lot of times you just have to think outside the box, too. You know, you can just walk down the aisle of your local craft store, if they're open, and look in their jewelry section, and you can find a ton of stuff in there. Tons of stuff. And then, of course, you know, like we used the inflation needles. Those just walk down, your little, sporting goods aisles, and shit, you can pick those up, or on Amazon and stuff. So you just have to search, you just have to search and kind of get lost, and you kind of go down, different rabbit holes and stuff, and just look at them and gauge the size of things, and just see if they work, right? That's all. Reset. Trying to reset the question button there. All right, there you go. Cool. Let's see. Gumplin Miami, Chris, he says, looking good. I need to steal some of that Mecha Mojo. Did that come out how I wanted? Oh, well. Hey, man. We all got what you meant, right? We got what you meant. There you go. There we are. Let's see. Kenneth is over there on YouTube. He's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, Tim, going to do anything to the tail thing of the handle? Oh, this deal right here? Probably not, because I really like that, actually. I like the open sections and all that. I forgot to put this guy back on here, and then this little sucker goes back on here. And there we are. Perfect. So yeah, I'm probably not going to do anything with this. I actually like how all that looks. Honestly, it's just the openness of it feels kind of prototype, and that's really what we're trying to shoot for. So no, I think I dig the look already. Yeah. Let's see. Charles Dodge over there on YouTube to Julius. He says, I've reused ISO for stripping paint. It's not a problem if you keep the container sealed or recant back to the bottle. Just use a coffee filter to filter it every so often. Exactly. The ISO will yellow after a few uses, but will still strip the paint. You're more likely to top off your container before the ISO stops being effective. Yeah, exactly. Hey, look at this. Scotty, what's going on, man? Mr. Ghost of Xeon, Mr. SMS Paints. He says, yo, what's going on, Scotty? Julius MC says to Charles, yeah, that's what I was thinking, except I don't have any coffee filters, so I used a paper towel. That would probably work, too. Yeah. I had coffee filters on hand, and yeah, they seem to work. Kenneth says Tim could go for a real type RX color. Yeah, we're going traditional. We're going traditional. Charles Dodge says that works too, just soaks up more than the coffee filter. Yeah, just fold it up and squeeze the excess out. That's a good call as well. Henry says that warm white is more Kotoki signature white shade. Yeah, he says, oh man, the real type colors are sweet. Yeah, they are. I do like them. Chris Degger says, I built the Master Grade Johnny Ridden kit. It's really nice. Yeah, I really like it too. Andrew says, I thought Johnny Ridden went up against the full armor Gundam. Who knows? Maybe. Wobish, Woody, he's over there on YouTube. He says, I'm doing a Sharzaku in Vallejo SZ Red and Dark Red now. Excellent. Charles Dodge says, Army Painter water acrylics. No, the solvent in Mr. Colors thinner will make the paint go grainy. Interesting. Good to know. Bill says, Charles, the retarder in the leveling thinner doesn't prevent the graininess. Odd. Yeah, but since it's water acting with the solvent, it could have a weird mix. I think that's what I think that's what Charles was going after, Bill. Bill says, good to know for future use. Andrew says, good to know as well. Kenneth says, Haikyuu parts are really, really hard to find or in stock. Yeah, that's because Japan the shipping lanes are just closed right now. So they're all the stock is drying up that you can get, right? It's just one of those things. Once shipping starts and that all starts to ease back into the world, you'll be, trust me, you'll be fine. Henry says, damn, you can set up your own online store with those. No, man, I'm saving all that, all of it. That's all me. Charles Dodge says, no, it's the same issue for any water-based acrylic. The solvent will ruin the paint. The retarder doesn't prevent the chemical reaction. Andrew says, awesome, thank you. Gunplay Miami. Chris has a question. Let's reload the button here. Any day now. There we go.
We have a question.
He says, have you ever thought of RE building? Have you ever thought of building a kit you have in the past to compare past and present? If you haven't, what would you choose? Well, we kind of did that with the Blue Destiny, how I refurbished it from its original state into what it is now, right? So, Chris, if you head over to my website and take a look at the Blue Destiny, you can see the before and after. Because I originally made the Blue Destiny, I want to say 2004, 2005, something like that. I forget the year. But a few years ago, I'm looking at it on my shelf, and it's sitting there, and the paint's starting to chip off. The resin, so all the way down to the resin, it's starting to chip off. Metal parts and other parts are, just basically flaking off at that point. So I knew it was time to just kind of strip it and redo it. So that's what we did. We went ahead and upgraded all the the different parts and everything. Kind of brought it into today's skill set standards. So that's, I think, going to be the perfect example of what you're looking for in terms of the differences in skill sets, because it is quite striking, the difference between the two. The color placements and all of that, the decals are virtually identical. But the details and everything, the crispy little details, that's really kind of where it changes the game on that stuff. So definitely take a look at that, and you can kind of get an understanding of the differences in skill sets between then and now. Andrew says, speaking of inflation needles, thank you for adding your pics to my post. Can't believe how many people were making fun of me for using them. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it's just until you know. You just don't have any idea, right? You don't have any idea how it comes across. So, Chris Degger says, I just ordered some of those inflation needles and sewing pins. Hey, there you go. He said, Andrew says, what are the sewing pins for? Oh, they're for, just little details and stuff. So, like, I don't think I have any installed on any of the parts out here. So, so Andrew, basically, these are just little sewing pins, and what I normally do is I will clip the head off of here and insert, just maybe keep like 1 to 2 millimeters of the shaft, and insert that into, you know, a pre-drilled hole in there. And it's just a new kind of metal part. It almost looks like one of those little metal beads that the Japanese builders put into theirs. I like the sewing pins more because they're a lot more stable. They're not going to go rolling around the floor or anything. And since they're metal, if it does go flying off onto the carpet, you can use a magnet and retrieve it. So that's what I like about them. So that's what we use sewing pins for. And I have a tutorial on using sewing pins on my website, so check that out too. Anywho, Bill says the grip stop is almost reminiscent of the handle stop on the rifle. Ooh, yeah, you're kind of right on that, Bill. You're kind of right on that. Yeah, because you got the little dealy here, and you got the little dealy there, right? You are right. Yeah, I kind of like that. Let's see. Will says the heads of the sewing pin can be used as rivets on a model. Yeah, exactly. Bill says, Charles, sorry, missed the water-based part. Yeah. Andrew says, I was hoping to use the Army Painter Ultramarine Blue I have because it matches the blue of the Faz Verka. I mean, there's really nothing that says you can't use another blue. There's no rules in it. Gunpla is... No. Bill says the pins can be used for numerous things, including struts and pistons, rivets, reinforcing joints. They are pretty versatile. Absolutely, yeah. And then once you cut the shaft off the pin, you can use that actually as a stainless steel rod. Or it's not stainless steel, but it's a steel little rod, right? And it's perfect for pinning parts and all that. So I save those in a little bin and just keep those as well. So you use the entire pin rather than just the head of it. Yeah. Let's see. Pab says, Tim, what resolution do you stream on in Streamlabs? 1080p. 1080p. 1920 by 1080. Full high def. Yep. Charles Dodge says to Andrew, thin with water if you don't have, can't get some Liquitex Flow Aid. You want to avoid using drying retarder unless you live in a dry climate. Liquitex Flow Aid has just enough on its own. There you go. Andrew says the Ultramarine Blue is a perfect match. No mixing required. You don't need to really match it. There's nothing wrong with going a different shade, right? Make it unique. Make it yours, Andrew. Hell, go crazy. Go orange. Like Mecha Decal orange, right? Like that whole color scheme right down there, the light gray and the orange, like prototype colors. It's kick ass. Go with that. Just an idea. Just an idea. Andrew says Gunpla is fast, and then Pab says Gunpla is fucking expensive when you start customizing. Well, that is a true statement there. Yeah, that is a true statement. All right, so real quick, let's go ahead and move that off to the side there, and let's go keep addressing what we've got here now. Okay, so I want to do one more little kind of strap over here, but nothing as crazy as that. Maybe just something kind of nice and thin there, right? But I don't necessarily want I don't necessarily want to use the tube in this situation. I want to do something a bit different. So we're going to use this what is this? This is 1.5 2 millimeter thick. This is 2.3 millimeter thick sheet of styrene, right? So this is what we're going to use. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to need to do some layout measurements and stuff here. So let's get our steel U-Star circle template here, and let's get our donor tube here. And if I remember, that was what, 10.5 roughly, or 10? Yeah, 10.5 is good. Okay, cool. So what we'll do, let's start laying out some lines here, right? just like that. And then do that there. So we know we have a perfect 90 degree, because I don't know if this, oh, this is 90 degrees. Perfect. Okay. Okay. So there's our middle point, right? So now we'll find our 10.5 and we'll lay that right on those cardinal lines. Just right there. Perfect. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go up 1 millimeter to 11.5. Actually, you know what? Let's go up 12. Right about there. Perfect. And we're going to do that. Okay. So we've got our cross section here that will go fit right on there, right? Stay with me. Stay with me, because this is gonna get fun. That needs to be thicker. Let's go. Yeah. All right, we're going 14 actually as an outer diameter. All right. Much better. Okay, cool. So, with that being said, let's make some marks here. We're just doing some basic layout. I'm marking the square of the inner diameter here. Cool. All right. So now on these intersection points, let's go. Let's see here. Let's go 2.5. Let's see what that looks like. Perfect. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, cool. Sweet, 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 sweet. All right, so first things first, we need to start drilling some holes on this. So stay with me, because we're probably going to go a little late on this here, you guys, which is not a big deal. I'm with it. Okay, let's get. Let's get this drill bit put away here, and let's go ahead and perfect. That's good there. We're going to drill our initial hole in here, and I've got to hold this up against the side of the desk so you guys aren't going to be able to see the drilling of this, but you can imagine. All right, so there's that. That's our initial hole for this opening, right? Get back in there. All right, so now what we're gonna do now, we're going to start to, yeah, big boy Dremel. We're going to start to get this hole opened up here, this inner diameter. Okay. All right. All right, so that's a little shy of the inner diameter, but let's see. Nope, nowhere near. Okay, cool. That's a good thing. That's actually what I want. So now what we're going to do is we're going to finesse this opening to where we need to where it needs to be. So for that, baby Dremel. Baby Dremel comes into play. Baby Dremel enters the game. So this is going to be the perfect tool here to be able to kind of gently finesse this this opening to where we need it to be. Okay. Okay, let's see if that, nope, we're still a little shy. Let's see. We're getting closer. We're getting much closer. A little bit more, and we should be in good shape. Bingo! Like a glove. That fits really, really good. Alright, perfect. Alright, so now we can just clean off the little nasties there. Alright, so we've got that. That's the first part, right? Excellent. And just for cleanup, we're just gonna right there, and that just basically cleans the burr off the inside edge there. It's not actually chamfering the inside edge; it's just cleaning the burr off of that, right? So perfect. That looks quite good. All right, so now. Whew, let's see. Bill, what do we got here? Bill says, okay, I will post something after Tim agrees. Tim must say he was wrong to smack Frankie and that Gunpla is indeed freedom. No. He never said he had to believe it, just say it. And he did say the reason he smacked Frankie was for saying Gunpla's freedom, right? No, I mean, so, guys, the thing is, whatever. If you like Gunpla's freedom, I don't care. basically, it's the thing with Gunpla Freedom for me is that it just seems like it's an excuse that a lot of people use when they don't want to take criticism and stuff like that, or they cut corners and they're just like, Gunpla Freedom, whatever. That's all. And it just gets annoying. It just really gets fucking annoying. That's all. What are you gonna do? Anyway, all right. So we've got the inner diameter set in here. Now we're gonna drill a couple holes around the top to give us our little indents there. Now I'm almost thinking to make that outer diameter a little bit bigger. Let's see something here. Boom. And what's this diameter on here? That's 12.3. Okay, cool. So we could get away with 14 if we wanted to. Take that off so it doesn't block the camera, right? Actually, we used 14, didn't we? I think we used 14. Oh, yeah, my head's in the way. Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, we'll go with it. Screw it. We'll go with it. All right. So next thing we need to do is make our holes on these junctions here, right? So we'll do a little pilot there, a little pilot there. We'll go ahead and put some down on this side, even though that may or may not be in the final design of this thing, right? We'll have to wait and see. Now, what we're going for is 2.5, and I remember correctly, that's number 39. We had that out just a few seconds ago. So 39 right cha, or wait, is that 38? Yep, that was 38, not 39. Fuck it, we'll go with that. We already got it pulled out. What's the use at this point? We're just wasting time. Alright, so we'll pop that in there. And we'll set that off to the side here right quick. Let's start drilling with this little bit here in the baby Dremel. Okay. Whoa. That wasn't good. Yeah. Cool. All right, excellent. That's exactly what we need. So we'll just basically make some little pilot holes into there. Yeah. All right. So now we'll go and drill that all the way through. Yeah. Alright, so that's our design there, right? Now, there we go, that's our design, right? Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. Now, what we've got to do next is cut this whole thing out. Which is going to be another pain in the butt. But it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Alright, so let's start with this upper side here. We're going to go off that part just a bit. Just so we don't crack into the part once we go to split this this plastic here, right? All right, you know what? We're gonna have to score this. We can't just we just can't cut it and then try to break it that way, right? We're gonna actually have to scribe into this pretty deep, and for that we're gonna use our 0.20. Okay, so that line is set there. Because this is such a thick sheet of plastic, this is, you know, almost 2.5 millimeters in thickness. That's why we're having to do this type of process, right? Because essentially what we're doing is trying to battle through this this plastic. So now that we've got it sufficiently scribed in there, let's go from the crap side here. There we are. There we are. Score and snap every day. All right, we'll put that off to the side, and then we'll start doing the same thing over here. We're gonna go a little bit closer than what we did before. Okay. And so do the same thing with this. Score and snap. All right. So now what we can do is we can just basically go at this with our Zerons. And we're just going to essentially just clip this through. Good there. And we're going to take this corner off. And just basically start to... That's okay. Because we were going to split it anyway. That's okay. I went a little too close. That's okay. We were going to split this part. So that's not... It's not a big deal. That is not a big deal. In the grand scheme of things. But that does show you, clip off smaller parts than that. Nibble away, kids. Nibble at your parts like this when you're scratch building. But again, we were going to split this anyways. It wasn't going to go on like that, so that's actually not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. Okay. getting down to like the nitty-gritty here. I'm actually going to switch out to the Tamiya nippers for really kind of fine adjustment. There we go. All right. Where's that split? Right there. Okay. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut that bottom piece off of there. Just like that. And that basically is going to be our finished shape, right? That's essentially what we're going to be looking for. All right, so now what we can do is pop this onto our little piece there, and then you can kind of see what we're kind of chasing after here, right? So, next thing to do, let's get, where'd Baby Drumel go? Oh, here it is. And let's get a nice cylinder bit here. All right. We're gonna crank that up. And now, let's hope that I don't damage this thing anymore. Ooh. That's weak. That's a little weak. So we're gonna have to hold it pretty tight here. All right. Let's go with this one. Okay. That's not bad. That's looking pretty smooth all the way around. See, this piece is very fragile, very fragile. And I think what we're gonna do is go ahead and glue this to the part. That way we can just freely work with it here, right? Once it's stable onto the part itself. Yeah, I think that'll look nice on there. A couple stabilizing triangles on there around it. I think that'll look good. Yeah. Right there. And let's get some location lines here. So let's get this in our tweezers. No, I don't like that grip. Let's go this way so we don't put any stress on it. And we'll get this super glued into place here. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull this front assembly off there. Let's go ahead and pull that guy off. Get that, all this yanked off there. And now we can place this guy right along that line. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. All right. So now we've got this on a nice stable platform here. This hopefully will not break, right? Yeah. All right, cool. So now we can freely shape this and get this nice and smooth here. There we go. Now we're talking. Now we're talking. Nice. Yep, okay, that's 400. All right, let's take this back here. Crank it up to 3. There we are. Okay. Much better. All right, let's start to smooth this thing even here. Okay. I like this so far. Get our eyes back on here. Take a good look at the thickness difference between all of these surfaces. Okay. All right. Oop. Turn off. There you go. All right. So we've got a pretty good constant thickness. We've got nice flat edges along the top. Now it's just basically smoothing these things nice and clean, right? Now, I do notice there is, let's see, where's the little NT cutter here? There's a gap right here at the bottom of this this side here underneath. So to fill that, we're going to pop a little super glue in there. Let's get a little spready action in there. Nice. Okay. Perfect. All right. So now, let's get this little burr off the edges. And I'm not necessarily chamfering, beveling, or whatever these edges. I'm just basically trying to take the burr off of there, the lip of plastic that got ground down there, right? That's all we're doing. That's all we're doing. It's pretty nice and centered. I like the look of this thus far. Let's get our little indents nice and clean. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm digging this. Digging it. Very, very good stuff. All right. Let's get a little Insta-set on there. Let that cook a little bit. Let's get caught up. Let's get caught up with the chat, yeah? All right. So, 12:24 already. Crazy. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Oh, where do we go? Jesus Christ, you guys are having full-blown conversations. Wow. Here we go. Andrew says, you can't unsee it, but I'm staring at you over the top of my glasses, Tim. Yeah. That's okay. Bill says most paints need thinning for use in an airbrush. That is what he was recommending the flow aid for, I presume. Yeah. Charles Dodge says, I will paint my Faz Verka safety orange if you post an Instagram video saying Gunpla is freedom. No. Bill says he said it in a video already, Charles. You lose, right? Julia says, any last minute tips? I'm about to dry parts in the dehydrator for the first time. Set it no higher than, say, 125, Julius. That's the one, kind of the one thing that I always do. The melting point of plastic is about 220, so I wouldn't necessarily go higher than, say, 150, 175, 125. I think is a great, high enough temperature to get the things dry, but nowhere near the point of getting it pliable or anything like that. So yeah, 125 I think is a sweet spot. Andrew says, yeah, just being picky and wanting a hard paint that won't fail when I go to use water slide decals. Yeah. Kenneth says, wasn't it easier to do the ribbon method? I don't know what that is. Bill says water slide decals should go on a gloss clear top coat. Yeah. Charles says, I don't think that's what he was really saying, since he said he smacked Frankie for saying it. Pab says, you guys are lucky Frankie isn't here. Yeah, right. Although I won that case, by the way, because he did not show up, so I won by mistrial. So, yeah, I win. Charles Dodge says, dope, Frankie, not Freddy. Yeah. Bill says, you never said he had to believe it, just say it. And he did say the reason he smacked Frankie was saying Gunpla is freedom, right? Technically, Frankie said it, but I digress. Charles says, okay, amendment. Tim must say he was wrong to smack Frankie and that Gunpla is indeed freedom. No. No. Bill says, too late. Your agreement was he say it, LOL. Looking forward to a safety orange fast doing the safety dance soon. Wow. Henry says, tack life for life. For real, for real. Charles says, nope, he didn't agree to my first proposal, just as law case history states, acts don't count for future agreements. Wow, okay. Got him on a technicality. Bill says, okay, I will post something after Tim agrees. There you go. Tim, or Greg Blair says, Tim, get your chair, bud. Get my chair? I'm in my chair. I don't know. Henry says, my thoughts exactly. Yeah. Bill says it's an excuse people use for laziness, not the intent to let people go wild with ideas for building Gunpla. Exactly. Henry says also a marketing move by the company to sell more of their products. Yeah, well. Nathan Zero Kai says the phrase Gunpla is freedom had so much meaning until people used it as an excuse for bad Gunpla modeling. Yeah, and Hannon says indeed. I totally agree with that, yeah. Bill says, I mean, all the marketing they needed was, it's a Gundam, followed by explosions. That's a fair point as well, right? Henry says, haha, for the West, that is. Yeah. Charles Dodge says, I just like giving Tim a little hard time about it. I know with each kit I do now, my seam line removal and number removal gets better. Nice. Henry says, I think the point has been understood much differently by each region. In Asia, it is more like try to become an actual modeler and customize the hell out of your kits. Yeah. Here, it's like snap more builds and hoard more kits. Pretty much. Edward Leonard says, fuck your dumb arguments. The only real freedom is death, dumbasses. Get a grip. Oh, man. Edward comes in with the perfect lines. I'm going to tell you that right now. Edward, fucking love you, dude. Bill says, Edward, that is a bit harsh, but still damn funny. Bry Guy, hi, Tim. Hi, everyone. What's going on, Brian? Edward says, fuck, it is. I have a feeling Edward might be hitting the sauce a little bit tonight, you guys. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. The Ungawa says, isn't the essence of Gunpla's freedom more like there are no rules? I think of it as you can customize whatever you want, however you want. I agree that it shouldn't give an excuse to enable laziness. Well, that was kind of the initial intent, because from what I remember, the Kawaguchi fucking character in that, I think like either right before he said that or right after he said that, basically said, fill your seam lines, fix your seam lines, right? Like giving a critique, like basics, assholes, right? Something like that. But I think people kind of took Gunpla's freedom and kind of bastardized it and all that. So it's just, it's fucking annoying now. That's all. It's just really annoying. Anyway, Bill says, Edward, just please don't direct that comment at anyone in the chat, right? Whew. Hey, now. Spider2K2, Superglue to the rescue, Bry Guy rip. Oh, that's probably when I broke the part, right? Edward Leonard says, LOL, not directed at anyone if you can read. Whoa. Charles says, where's Tim's eye protection? Kenneth says, we can fix it. I'm like, fix it, Felix. Fix it, Felix. Ooh, ooh. Ruslam says to the Ungawa, that was the intent, but it has been misinterpreted by people. Yeah. Charles Dodge says, we can rebuild him faster, stronger, more intelligent. Ungawa says, okay, so it's a meme now. Kinda. Bill says to Edward, I know it wasn't. That is why I said to please not do so. I know you aren't the type to be rude or mean in chat, but felt I needed to say it. Henry says, Tim, I would set it to mid or lowest speed. Yeah, at that point, it just wasn't it just wasn't taking off the amount of plastic that I needed at the low and middle speed. It needed to be high, but once we got it secured, we're in good shape. Pab says I wouldn't have used a Dremel at this point. Yeah, the Dremel. It was a fine line balance between, oh shit, I'm gonna break it, or okay, this is gonna be great. Oh well. Pab says, wow, Tim's Dremel impersonation is pretty accurate. Hey, I try. Bry Guy, he's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, so I'm building a really cool custom and I'm looking to drill a hole, but I need a solid peg to connect to another part. Should I get a metal rod or is a plastic tube with super glue good? It depends on what you need to attach there, Brian. A metal rod obviously is always going to be stronger, but a plastic rod could be just as good. It depends on the amount of stress that's going on the connection, right? If there's going to be medium to high amounts of stress on it, then yeah, I'd definitely go metal rod. If not, if it's just basically connecting pieces together and there's glue connecting it as well, I just go with a plastic rod at that point. That should be fine. Done it plenty of times myself. So, food for thought. Bill's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, will you be adding tube connecting to the middle in those indentations? Actually, no. We will not be adding anything to these little indents. Saw a Japanese modeler do this very same thing, and I really liked the look of it. So I thought it would be great on the bazooka, and so far, I'm happy with it. But we'll get through here, and we'll kind of try to finish up. It's 12:33 already. Wow. Let's see. Pab says depends if it is load bearing. Oh, to Brian. Yeah. Bry Guy says it's the waist joint connecting to the legs and upper body. So yeah. Then I'd probably go metal. Probably go metal. Bill says, Brian, can you post a pic? If you post in Mecha Army group, then people can give specific advice to help. That is true. Pab says, use a brass rod, drill a hole in the middle of the plastic peg you intend to use, and insert the brass rod. Yeah. Pab says, I think he's adding those connecting tubes. Bill says, cool, Pabs, that will look nice. Brian says, where's the Mecha Army group? It's on Facebook, dude. Come on. Is it a group of you elites? Looks at the pros and chats intensely. Hey. Nah, man, Mecha Army Facebook page, or Facebook group, for that matter. Yeah, it's on Facebook. Just look up Mecha Army. You'll find it. Make sure, Brian, just make sure to answer all 3 questions. Please, or you're not getting in. Anyway, Pab says, nope, just a bunch of builders, all skill levels and sizes. Yeah, exactly. Pab says, I myself am a size 10. Well, aren't you just as cute as a little button? William Williams says, Mecha Army Facebook page group. And Bill says, no, Mecha Army is a Facebook group for builders to chat with each other. There you go. Hendren says, size as in t-shirt size? Nice. Edward says, get one. Brian says, I'll join the group in a bit. Got to remember my Facebook password. It's been years. Whoa. Ascension Industries over there on YouTube, and they say, oh, what tool is that mini Dremel? Yeah, and William says it's a Tack Life, and it's on the Amazon list. Yeah, this little guy. This little baby Dremel. Tack Life. Yeah. Big shout out to Bill, Mr. Ruslam, for sending that over. Hell yeah. Let's see. Bill says, Ascension, that is the Tack Life cordless rotary tool. He has it linked in his Amazon page, which you can find in the description. Yes. Or at the top of the Child of Mecha website. There's a bar up at the top that you can click on and get to the list as well. Edward Leonard says they have many names on Amazon, but all the same. Okay. Mine is an SPTA, but the same. Dallas J. Pacey's over there on Facebook. He says, hey, Tim, I watched your older stream of when you were doing the GM Spartan and Jesta. I was curious if you still had that line art for the GM Spartan. I'm going to be doing the same kit here in a few weeks. Any tips would be great and appreciated. Thank you, man. Keep up the great work in the streams. Dallas, actually, I saw your email, but I haven't had a chance to respond, obviously. But yes, I do have that art, and I'll send that over to you. And I forget, who else needed that? I forget. Who else needed the line art? Email me. If you need the line art for that, just shoot me an email and I'll email it to you. I forget who needed that though. Greg Blair 88 says chair for the Smackdowns for the reason people are cut corners. Jesus. Greg, now I get you. Now I get you. Hanron says I did not see that comment. LOL. Greg Blair says, wow, that made no sense. I am tired, right? Charles Dodge says, I know, I was confused too. Handren says, oh, Charles, you didn't see it either. Mike Skyers is with us over there on YouTube. He's got a question.
We have a question.
He says, how important do you think it is to fix seam lines on inner frames? Only if you are going to be removing the armor, or if there is a part that is exposed after the armor is installed. Aside from that, it's like, whatever, right? But if it can be seen, then I would definitely fix it. If there's any chance that it can be seen at any angle, then I would definitely fix it. Other than that, it's not a big deal, as long as you're not displaying it without the armor. Yeah. Obviously, glue the parts together, right? And do your due diligence there. But as far as actually eliminating the seam lines, it's not really a big deal. Like, if you were to take off the armor on the Jesta and the Hummingbird, and hell, even the Blue Destiny, you'd see seam lines on the underside, that's not exposed. It's not a big deal. If you don't see it, it's not even a question at that point. So, yeah, if it can be seen, fix it. That's what I always say. That's kind of what I always say. Julius Dempsey says, Tim, how long should I leave the parts in the dehydrator? Thanks for the help. Until they're dry. That's the best thing I can tell you, Sarge. What I would probably do is give it overnight. Check them tomorrow morning. They probably should be fine and should be completely dry. But yeah, I wouldn't have any issue leaving them overnight. Leave them out on a counter away from everything, and just in case, nothing heats up or any of that jazz. And leave them overnight. You should be perfectly fine. Yeah. And it's 9:30 on the West Coast. Yeah, leave them in there for, until you go to bed or whatever. And then check them before bedtime and go from there. Yeah. And if you don't feel comfortable leaving them at 125, crank the heat down a little bit on them and leave them there overnight. I mean, it's just, like I said, it's all until they dry. There's no magic number. It's just until they're dry. Completely. No moisture. Yeah. Kenneth says, I haven't seen Tiger Drill in action. Yeah, I need a dedicated plug for the Tiger Drill. It's temperamental, especially with my charging hub over here. It freaks everything out, so I don't want to do that. So Dallas J Pace over there on Facebook, he says, thank you, man, you're welcome, buddy. Henry says, wouldn't leaving the parts out after wash for 24 hours still dry up without a dehydrator? Absolutely, but if you have one, it makes it quicker. Just saying. Unless it's too damn cold. Well, there's that too, right? But no, I think Sarge is in over there in San Fran, so it's plenty warm out there right now. No, I mean, using a dehydrator, it's just a quicker method than leaving them out. If you have one, use it, right? That's what I say. So, Bill says leaving it to sit can cause spotting and let dust mix with standing water. I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that's like kind of a big factor, but it can be. It can be a factor. Yeah. Greg Blair says, do you just need a plug or a whole wall socket for the Tiger Drill? Oh, just a plug. And I have plenty of them. I just haven't gone, and I literally haven't walked down in the hallway and gotten one. That's all. So, yeah. That's literally it. That's all I have to do. All right, so back on this thing here. Let's take a look and make sure that we're good on all these pots. All the pots. Sound like from Boston, eh? All the pots here. All right. Now let's go ahead and trim this back a bit. Okay. Very good. Very good. Very, 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 very good. Okay, so need to take a little bit more off the front there. And then this thing should be nice and even. We're just going to give it a little very nice. All right, now we're going to do the same thing to the other side, and we're just basically cutting this at an angle and just letting the part kind of gradually sink into the piece here, right? Okay. Now we gotta address the super glue squeeze out on this side here a bit. So that's what we're gonna do next. Okay. And we're gonna do our vertical cuts first. Good. Okay, good. And now our face or horizontal cuts. Now, since this is on a tube, it's a little trickier than, say, on a flat part trying to clean the good old super glue squeeze out here, right? A little trickier. Just a bit. Just a bit. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now for this other side here, which is a little bit more glue squeeze out on this side. Okay, there's that. This side needs to be cut down at a little bit more of an angle compared to the other one here. So, come up a bit and try to angle that down. Let's see what that looks like. Perfect. That's what we want. All right. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And there's what our front profile looks like. That looks really quite nice. I'm digging it. I'm also seeing a little bit of squeeze out up here on this side. So we're going to address that here real quick. Good there. A little bit over here on this side. Very nice. Okay, so there's that. Let's do one more little finish sand. Where's our 600? Ah, here it is right here. So 600 grit. We're just going to go around this piece real quick. Get this nice and even. All the way around, nice and smooth. And we're just going to take a little bits of sandpaper. Just hand sand this nice and completely smooth down to nothing. Okay. Very nice. All right, so last thing we got to, well, I shouldn't say last thing, but one of the last things that we have to do, I do want to kind of put in a small bevel along this thing. Now I'm only putting it on. I'm only putting this outer, this bevel along the outer diameter of the ring. I'm not actually going into these little indents and putting it in there. We're going to make this bevel fairly heavy. Okay. Flip this over to the other side. Let's do that. Okay. Last surface right here. Okay. All right. Yeah. There's that piece. Okay, so reassembly. Let's get all this back together to see kind of the final look of this all. Now, I should say that we're not done just yet on this part. Like I said, I wanted to do maybe some support triangles in here at different points, and I think that will really kind of set that look off quite nicely. But for right now, we got a pretty good amount of work done for this evening. So let's get zoomed out right about there. And yeah, that I think that looks good. yeah. See, those added rings there don't busy it up. I know, Handren, you were worried about that, but they didn't busy it up at all. But, man, they just added a lot of vertical, height changes and stuff like that to it, right? Without obstructing or anything like that. Just simple little details. I love that little O-ring bolt there. That just looks super nice. And this detail right here just adds, I think, a lot to this whole section, right? I just think that looks really quite nice. Really quite nice there. So, there's the progress that we've gotten thus far. Yeah. It looks good without looking busy. So, yeah. All right, let's get caught up with the chat one more time for the night, and then we're going to call it an evening, okay? Let's see. Where did we go? Here we go. This is where we are. Bill says, it isn't necessary, but if you can bypass the possibility, then why not, right, of putting it in the food dehydrator, right. Henry says, I was under the impression they dry up in a few hours. It depends, really. It depends. Bill says, how long standing water takes to dry depends on a lot of things, ambient temperature, humidity, amount of water, etc. That's true. Henry says, yeah, fair weather should give it a similar dry time. Potentially. The heat, the dry heat, obviously, in a dehydrator is going to speed things up quite a bit. Bill says, I just put mine on the stove top under the light there. It is a direct light which heats it up a bit, but not too much. Bill says, I used lint-free cloths and IPA to wipe down just before paint too. There you go. Chris Decker says, all right, everyone, I am going to go get food. Hope you all have a great night, and thanks for streaming, Tim. Chris, you're welcome, buddy. Let's see. Ruslam says, night, Chris. Chris says, P.S. Don't forget to buy Mecha Decals. Links below. Jesus. Thank you. Appreciate that. Bill says, missing the exhaust port. Yeah, it's over here. On the back. Yeah. Hendren says, good stuff, man. Kenneth says, updated bazooka. Hand clap. There you go. Edward says, night all. Sorry if I pissed anyone off, but probably not really. LOL, night. Be safe. Wash your damn hands. Edward, hey, man, you're good to go. Trust me, you're good. Bill says, night, Edward, have fun. Excellent. All right, so let's go camera one. Let's get, boom, Mecha Army hat on here, and let's do the wrap up, shall we? Hey, if you want to represent the Mecha Army, with that on there, represent, hit up www.chowdermecha.com, hit the store button up at the top. You will find this hat and many more on there. Shirts, prints of my work, all sorts of fun stuff in there, so go load up. If you're interested in any of the tools and materials that we have been working with here tonight, hit the Amazon link below here on Twitch and YouTube. That side, if you're watching on Facebook, now I do get a bit of a commission based off the stuff that you buy, but it does not increase the cost for you. It goes to help out me, help out the stream, fuel our endeavors moving forward. Now, if you're interested in kits, paints, tools, materials, accessories, Mecha Decals, sheets 1 and 2, those are both available and in stock shipping now. Hit up our good friends right down here, USA Gundam Store. Adam and the fine crew will definitely have what you need. Now, also, too, if you like the stream, if you get value from this, if you, learn something from watching this, hit the like, subscribe, follow on all the different social media channels and platforms. You can keep up with what we do outside of the stream, right? It's always fun. And if you know somebody or a group of somebodies that could benefit from watching the stream, share it with them. It's a nice thing to do. All right, so you guys, I'm going to be back here tomorrow afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, same time as always. We're going to jump back on the SD Unicorn build, and then on Friday, we're going to jump back on to the Bazooka in the daytime, and then Mechanism on Friday night, which should be just a bunch of fun. So I think the gang is gang's looking forward to this one. I think we need it. It's been a week. We need to blow off some steam. Yeah. Henry says, Tim, one last question. Okie dokie.
We have a question.
He says, are you going to have that bazooka prominent in the diorama alongside the beam rifle? I haven't thought about posing in terms of the piece, and I'm hesitant to call it a diorama, even though that's probably what it's going to end up being, and people are going to call it that anyways. But yeah, I definitely want especially the beam rifle, to be, motherfucker, yeah. I want that to be kind of in the forefront. The bazooka may be kind of a secondary thing, maybe hooked to the back or hooked on the backpack, but, you're obviously going to be able to see it prominently at different angles. So, yeah. He says, that's my point when I implied the business look or the busyness of the look. Yeah. No, yeah, the beam rifle will be in use. The bazooka will be more stowed at that point. So, yeah. And I think the amount of details and everything we're going to carry over into the RX anyways. Right now, I think the RX is still kind of in the formation stage, not necessarily the detailing stage like we're in on the beam rifle and the bazooka. We're still not to that point on the RX just yet. We're still kind of in the shaping, blocking out stage for that. We're trying to get the geometry right. And then we'll jump into those details and we'll add kind of that prototype-ish details in there as well. So, yeah. He says, in that case, most of the details you got on the bazooka would be hidden. Not exactly. Not exactly. And it's not going to be like they're covered up or hidden or anything like that. If it's more stowed, with the initial positioning that I'm thinking, I'm not even going to worry about it. Because you're going to be able to see kind of like all the way around, I'm thinking. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it. Plus, Hannerin, like I always say, if you're going to be a bear, be a grizzly, right? Yeah. So, Bill says from certain angles, maybe. Potentially. If it's behind something, then sure. But, if you go around the piece, which the piece will not be like... it's not going to be like Airdrop where it's going to have this big arm in the back or anything like that. But still, you can see the back side of it. I'm not worried about it. Not at this point anyways. So, yeah. And hell, I may change my mind 15 times from now until, we get it mounted up in the diorama and stuff. So, who knows? It's just the way of the beast, man. Anyway. All right, kids. I'm out of here for the night. Be safe out there. Use some common sense. Like Edward said, wash your damn hands. But most importantly, build something cool. All right? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.